There was a time, before the time of old, when the gods spoke in silence and the forests shook in stillness. The time before the conjuring of stools, before the planting of swords. Even before the porcupines had a voice. That was the time warriors arose. The time of Detor.
You can see so much smile on my face because I love movies. I mean, that is my first love. And when it comes to good movies, you should know that they are directors and they are directors. If you pass through a particular director's hand as an act or a thespian, you should know that your movie will come out great. Today, we already have somebody who is about to start working with us. I'm employing him here today because he was here on Monday and he's here again today. That is my screen husband, Mr. Ando Akwabebi.
Oh, but that's it.
It's who named the Obeka. You don't know what to say. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Mark Kofi Jr.
Yes, ma'am.
You are the director, film director, and organized chaos.
Correct.
I'll say something when we finish, but Detor.
Yeah.
For me, I understand that to be a palm nut seller.
Well,
But what does it mean for this film?
okay, so Detor is an Ewe name.
Yeah.
And the movie is about the character Detor Akplomada, Amagat Detor Akplomada.
Right.
And we've done quite a bit of history to put this story together, but there's no clear explanation of where the name came from.
Right.
The name Detor.
Detor.
But Akplomada means the spear,
The spear
not
not-
thrown.
yeah.
So, yeah.
The history behind the entire movie, how did you put it together? How many months did it take for you to put all of this together to make it whole?
Well, let me go in reverse.
Do.
We're premiering tonight,
Awesome.
and a year ago, we shot in 2023. We shot the principal photography between the 20th of February and a couple of weeks into March, and before that, it took about maybe 12 to 18 months to go through the writing and drafting and getting the story and the screenplay, and then research. So I would say it's 3 years in the making.
Wow, because I remember speaking to Ludwig Combs,
Who's in the
and
film.
who's in the
Exactly.
film, and you had to do some research with him.
Yeah.
He had to also do some traveling and then come back to you.
Absolutely.
My brother, what does it take to play a character that you do not even may not understand the particular language? What did it take for you to do that research and marry it onto yourself as Mr. Ando?
Well, the truth is that there was some flexibility. So yes, we knew the essence of the story, and we were given the liberty to express it in English, or if you could understand Ewe, you
Ewe.
could. There were certain portions that were spoken in Ewe, just to
Right.
give it that cosmopolitan feel.
Right.
So it gave it the best of both worlds, as it were. As far as the character is concerned, the role was a very heavy role because of his significance to the history of the people, and what he had to do or go through in order for what had to happen to happen. And it was by far my most challenging screen role, because I found myself having to dig deep emotionally, not throughout the film, but there was one particular scene that I really, really needed to dig deep. And leading up to that scene, I knew the scene was coming and I was scared because I didn't know if I could really hit those emotional notes.
Right.
But Mark always has a smile on his face, and he always believes he also,
I know you got it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you can do it.
You can do
or
it.
this thing, oh, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. So the time came and I thought, okay, game time. We got it done, and I'm especially proud of that scene because it summed up everything that the character had been through in such a good way, and they captured it really well. And I can't wait for people to see that scene and the events that unfolded after that scene.
the essence of movie making, the research, scripting, the building, data building and coalition and everything, do you think we are losing that? Because I've heard people say that the Ghana movie industry is dying just because maybe we are not being deep enough, we are being subtle about all these, we are trivializing everything when it comes to building a whole movie. Do you think we are sort of sidelining all of that and just creating movie for the creation's sake?
It's a big question, and it has a range of perspectives to get the answer right. But I think it's safe to say we've been hibernating. You know, the roots are still strong. Our innate knowledge and expertise in filmmaking and stagecraft is still there. We actually have institutions that train. So maybe we're not coming out to the surface, and therefore we're not looking green and lush, but the roots are still strong. And a lot of research is happening. A lot of good work is surfacing. I was saying recently that in 2023, let's even just go back to 2023, a lot of great things were starting to unfold. And towards the end of the year, you know, some other projects that Andrew was in, The Gods Are Not to Blame, for example, created some crazy stuff. He was in another one, The Inspector Calls. Yeah. You know, things like that. Yeah. And these were big hits on stage. Other movies have come out, Evo, recently. Yeah. You've probably heard about Koto on TV. I have. And even recently we had the Queen of Accra. Yeah. So these are things that have been in the pipeline, coming out to the surface now. You know, and ours is coming out maybe a year and a half after. You know, so I think the roots are still strong and we can build on it.
Andrew, has the story of Ghana been told enough?
Not nearly enough. When you look at the history, even you can pick one tribe and you can have 100 years worth of research and content that you can make into movies, series, and things like that. So it's almost sad. It's almost sad that Ghanaians are not documenting or immortalizing some of our heroes. There are great heroes that have lived in their time, and their name seems to be lost, dying off and lost. You know, when you go to the Ashanti region, there are people whose names, when you mention their name, it's like, oh, this person was this, and he did this, and he did this. But we're losing all of it, and I think it's about time. Hopefully, this will start series like Queen of Accra, Detor, and things like that will begin to inspire people enough to want to tell those stories. And in telling those stories, we will be able to ground our culture and ground who we are at its core and at its essence, because we seem to be losing that too with the advent of westernization and things like that. And if we lose who we are in 100 years, what will we have to speak of? You won't have anything to say. We'll be Ghanaian in name only, but there will be no substance to it.
Exactly.
So it's very important.
Thank you very much. Detor, when is it showing, the time, the ticketing? Who are the characters in the movie?
They're big guns. You know, I was very blessed to get the people we had in this film. I mean, the names are so many. You know, of course, Andrew is in it. Akofa is in it. Edinam Atachi is in it.
David DeLong.
David DeLong is in it.
Brian Angels.
Brian Angels is the lead character.
Yes.
Brian Angels plays Detor.
Yeah.
He does a fantastic job.
An actor.
You know, Solomon Fixedo, who else? You know, so many. We you know, at the last count, we had 41 speaking roles. Ooh. Yeah. You know, we shot it on location in Dodowa.
You
know, we have hundreds of extras. You know,
and the stunts. Were they? Did you have to really go through the practicality of all the stunts themselves, or you had stuntsmen around?
No. So everything you see was done by the people you see doing it. Of course, we had an expert stunts coordinator, Lord, you know, Lockhart, and they were there to supervise and take us through. But everything you see, we did.
Awesome job. So it's showing tonight.
So
where?
We premiered tonight, 21st March. Yesterday was my birthday, by the way.
Happy belated birthday.
We premiered tonight at Snap Cinema.
Right.
Snap Cinema is in the AMA building in Accra, Tudu, behind the Octagon building. Yeah. And we'll show it there today at 7:30. Red carpet, green carpet is going to be at 5:30. Yeah. Then we show it again tomorrow, 4:30,
Okay.
and then 7:30.
Same place?
Same place, and
Right.
then again on Saturday we have 3 shows.
3 shows.
But on 24th, which is Sunday, we move to Oyarifa, the Ozone
Okay.
Cinema, and we'll show it all the way. How did you say we're going to show it? What was your?
I've forgotten how
Yeah.
I
Forgot
said it.
how you said it.
We're going non-stop.
Awesome, awesome. What's the price of the ticket?
Tonight it will be 100 CDs,
Okay.
but the other shows are 80.
80, so people can afford it. Okay.
Yeah,
all
we
right.
want people to just come and enjoy this.
Enjoy a good movie and tell the story of Ghana. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. It's
you
been
so
an
much.
amazing conversation. We've been speaking to Mark Kofi Jr. He's a film director at Organized Chaos and the actor, both stage and screen, Andrew Tando Adote. He is one of the lead actors in Detor.